lose the pubes. I'm just saying. You lose the pubes.
You know, I was lucky. I had my hair thinned out, but thankfully I didn't lose
pubes and eyelashes.
Hair everywhere.
Like, who the hell thinks that's okay? I don't think people understand how that can emotionally affect you.
I mean, well, something as visible as hair is such a big part of our identity of who's.
Absolutely.
I mean, like you know, touching our hair.
It's the first thing you do when you look in the mirror. Right? You fix your hair and you smooth your shirt out.
Exactly.
And cancer can affect both of those things, and it's difficult to go through that and not understand that that's what's going to happen. You know, the doctor doesn't sit down and say, okay, there might be some hair loss here, and you're going to lose your pubic hair. You know, no doctor tells you that. They just don't say it. They also don't tell you that you're going to be dry as the Sahara Desert. I mean, who's telling me that? No one told me that.
No.
Well, I didn't get the memo. Did you get the memo? Mm-mm. I mean, it is the Sahara Desert.
This gives me an opportunity to start this part by saying, let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be.
Let's talk about sex.
I'm so proud of her right now. The menopause thing, like you, I say that I was violently shoved into menopause. Like, I felt like someone took me and threw me off the cliff and was like, have fun. I remember my nurse specifically saying to me, have you had a hot flash yet? And I was like, hot flash? I'm freaking 40 years old. Not even a hot flash. And the next day I was like, oh my God! Oh my God! I mean, I felt like I was on fire. I think part of the reason why they don't talk about it is because that sucked. And it was scary. And I think they don't want to scare you too much.
I mean, but at the same time, shouldn't you know what you're kind of getting into?
Yeah.
Because you should be prepared. My body just kind of started changing and changing. So my periods went from being, I don't know how many days, to skipping a month, to then skipping every other month, to then being every every quarter, basically.
Right.
It started winding down every quarter, then every 6 months, then once a year, and then nothing. So they talk about their periods, and I'm like,
And they think it's so great. Oh my God, you're so lucky because you don't have your period. I mean, it is a bonus. I'm not going to lie. But what they don't understand is what comes along with that is the other side effects. Being dry, no libido, not having your sex drive back. And that's hard. It's hard. We're not. And I actually made a comment once. I said, I'm not 80. And I had this woman write into me and said, I'm 80 and I still have my sex drive. So can you not have ageism? And I was like, you go, girl. I will never do that again. But, I'm not a dried up prune. Like, there are things out there, I think, that have helped women. There's different things. And I'm not going to go into those specifically. And I mean, clearly we all know what a vibrator is.
I was going to say vibrator?
No, it wasn't a vibrator. I mean, there's like that Mona Lisa touch. Like, there's other things.
Oh.
But
maybe we'll save that for another episode?
We could save that for another episode. I haven't heard the best results on it, but I really believe that we can get it back. I think we do get it back. I think part of getting it back is knowing your body. And,
yes, absolutely.
We lose a lot of ourselves through this, and part of what we lose is a little bit of dignity. And I think this is where the sex drive, and I know it's hormone related, but it's also mental. There's a lot of mental up there. Our body has changed completely. And I don't care what kind of cancer you have, your body has changed. I gained like 40 pounds from cancer. I was not the same person that I was. And, like you said, you felt sick, you looked sickly. Yeah. You felt great, but all of that really plays into your head. Your body has changed. It's hard to grab that self-esteem back. And yes, a vibrator does work wonders. And I also think knowing your body, figuring out what feels good now, because things change. Like maybe I can't feel my breasts anymore. So it doesn't matter if anybody grabs them. I can't feel shit from them. So don't grab my breasts. Just telling you. Okay. There's other parts of my body that I can touch that makes me feel pretty damn good. Yeah. But you have to get that back.
Yeah. And that's a really good point, because like you said, you have to first know yourself. Mm-hmm. And so this is, I think, a great time to just spend some one-on-one time with your nice handy vibrator.
Absolutely. Brought to you by Dildos R Us. I think the hard part too is whether you're dating someone or it's a spouse, they don't know how to handle it because all of a sudden you go from, you know, maybe being sexually active to nothing. And I'm sure that plays into their brain and thinks that, you know, they're not wanted. And it's hard for them to understand that you don't have a libido anymore. And it's not that you don't want them. You don't even freaking want Lenny Kravitz. I mean, I wouldn't mind Lenny Kravitz. Just saying. But anyways, I think that it's a big part. And I've actually talked to a couple of my friends who are guys that have had cancer, and they lose their libido too. All of a sudden, it's gone, and they don't have a libido anymore. And I think for men, there's got to be a big, like, you know, man thing there. You know, all of a sudden they can't get their unit to work, and I'm sure that's got to be quite traumatic. Kids who go through cancer, they are then dealing with puberty and how that affects them emotionally, physically, and everything in between. I can't imagine, you know, then dating through all of that. I mean, how's that going for you, dude?
How about how it's not going?
I mean, come on. Do you feel like that's something that plays into your head when you go out on a date?
Yes.
I mean, I don't mean it's just me and you here. No one else is listening.
No one else is listening.
Just tell me the truth.
Ignore those. Absolutely, that is one of the top, like, questions in my mind as I'm looking to see if I'm going to swipe right or left on this person. Will he understand? What if it gets really far and we're going to end up, you know, what's that going to do? How is it going to react? And, you know, what does it mean for me? I still feel so young.
Right.
Like, what am I going to do? Do you have any pointers?
I'm going to point you to your vibrator. And I'm going to tell you to practice with that son of
I've
a
been
gun.
practicing. You know
what they say, practice makes perfect. I'm just going to tell you, practice makes perfect. And I do think that when you find the right person and that they understand what you're going through, they can help you get to that place again. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is just reality. If they understand it.
So you have to be really, really honest.
But once you get to that intimacy stage, I think you need to set the bar and say, you know, I have a problem with lubricant. Like, we might need to experiment with different types. And, you know, the other part to it is we can't have a lubricant that has estrogen in it. Mm-hmm. And estrogen is one of the base things. Coconut oil works great.
Oh, you know, I tried one with CBD oil.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Mm-hmm. Brought to you by lubricant with CBD oil. I do believe that when you find the right person, they will help you get there. But you can't get there without doing it yourself first.
That's a really, really, I love that you said that, because I don't know how many women, I was going to say, or men, but I feel like men are probably more used to, you know,
touching themselves. It's called masturbation. Just put it out there. But here's the thing. I think for guys, when they can't get it up, that becomes a problem, because then they don't want to figure out what's going on there. And then I don't know. I'm not a guy, so I'm just trying to bring the men into this conversation. I don't want this to be a chick flick. I mean, I sort of do, but not really. You know what I mean? So I think that is a problem, but you are right. Yeah. Women, if you told your non-cancer friends that you use a vibrator and that you are trying to get your sexy back, I'm bringing sexy back.
Oh, there you go.
Justin Timberlake too. I think if you told them that, they would almost be embarrassed. Which is hilarious, because sex is like normal.
Yeah. But I have to tell you, so one of the things that I was doing is I was doing an experiment.
Ooh.
And it was, I have to use the vibrator every day.
Get the out of here.
For like 2 weeks.
You are kidding me. Put it on your calendar. I did that a couple times. Wow.
Maybe the first time it did go like 2 weeks about. The second time I did it, maybe every other day. But the point was just getting myself into a habit and making time for me to get back into my zone, into knowing, you know, what I liked. And just kind of experimenting and see what feels good, and just using different gadgets and trying it out. You know, knowing yourself, what are some of the things?
One thing is you just said that you did that for 2 weeks. So you clearly knew you had the landscape down to a science. So the person you're with, you can give them the roadmap and give them guidance as to where you go. Communicate with them, because Here we go. You're going to love this. Communication is the best lubrication.
Oh, I like that. I like that. You heard that right.
Right here. Communication is the best
lubrication.